Peter is the ultimate bully, but in this video, I'll show you the characters who scared him so badly he practically wet himself. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Number 1. Liam Neeson, the ultimate Irish showdown. In the Fighting Irish episode, Peter goes head to head with sheer power itself. Let's see how that works out for him. It all kicks off when Quagmire throws Quagfest to celebrate his 1000th sexual conquest.
Damn, 1,000 women?
Well, 1,000 sexual conquests. No further questions.
Ew, someone get Guinness World Records on the line. Peter, always one for deep and thoughtful analysis, declares that Quagfest is the biggest thing since that massive dumpster on the front lawn.
I will! Yeah! Yeah! Smash! Boom!
Someone stop him. Last time he threw out a whole bedroom.
I'm still in here!
Meanwhile, the gang learns from the news that Liam Neeson is in nearby Connecticut filming a movie where he plays Albert Einstein on a revenge spree.
All right, I'll give you the formula. My foot equals your balls squared.
Now, here's the thing. Every time Peter gets a few beers in, he boasts that he could kick Neeson's ass. When he conveniently forgets ever saying that, Joe reminds him, just like that time they tried sneaking beer into the opera.
I could totally beat up Liam Neeson.
Fast forward to Quagfest, and Peter is shook. It's way bigger than he expected, featuring a simulator that lets you experience what it's like to sleep with Quagmire, because of course it does.
Hi. Bye.
The event even includes a parade of Quagmire's lovers, sorted by country, yes, including Thailand.
There's Brazil. There's Italy. And there's Thailand. Wow. Wow, they're young. We should go.
The grand ceremony introduces Eleanor, his first ever partner.
Do I still get a piece of candy after?
And in a shocking twist, a large-mouthed bass as lover number 1000. Honestly, would you expect anything less from Quagmire?
Yeah, that's right. I'm weird.
I thought I was here to watch normal intercourse on a residential street. Children, we're leaving.
Back at the Drunken Clam, Peter won't stop talking about taking on Neeson, annoying his friends so much that they decide to track down Liam in person to see if Peter can back up his big talk.
All right!
I've been to Connecticut.
When they arrive at the set, security blocks their entry. Peter hatches a genius plan. Disguise himself as Mrs. Potato Head to lure Neeson outside. The result? His ass gets mashed into actual potatoes.
Colin Farrell? What are you doing here? Shoo! Shoo! Get away!
Oh, you're a feisty potato.
The back is all mashed potatoes now.
Plan B. He sets up a confession booth and poses as a priest. Somehow this actually works, and Neeson shows up to spill his sins.
Sometimes a lighter. I don't even smoke. Sometimes I roll up those tattoo magazines, stuff them up my sleeve. If I get caught, I just tell the man I forgot. Then, of course, it's back to murdering wolves.
But just as things heat up, security calls the cops, and Peter is arrested before he can even face the Irish Titan.
Are you the guy who's been looking for Liam Neeson?
I am.
Do you mind if we ask what for?
Yeah, I was hoping to inflict violence upon him.
All right, you're coming with us.
Don't worry, Peter. We'll raise your bail money as soon as we can.
In a twist no one saw coming, Liam Neeson himself bails Peter out. Turns out he's intrigued by the rumors of some random guy claiming he could take him in a fight.
I hear you've been all over town saying you could kick my arse. Well, there's no time like the present.
Peter, ever the tactician, throws the first punch. Yeah, that did not work.
May I offer you the most sincere, honest apology? Ah! Ow! Ah, damn it! My hands are stinging from the vibrations!
Facing the incoming wrath of Neeson, he immediately begs for mercy, offering to be Neeson's servant instead of getting beaten to a pulp. Surprisingly, Neeson agrees. But if Peter ever breaks the deal, his fate will be worse than that guy who got sacrificed at the Battle of the Boyne. Yikes.
Normally, when we do those, there's like a joke.
I'm not your clown.
Peter is assigned random tasks, including jury duty, and more importantly, handling Liam's Twitter replies.
See? Like that. You get the gist of what my Twitter is about.
The worst job, Neeson sends Peter to the gym where he's forced to kneel in the shower and ask strangers to pee on his hands.
Hey man, did Liam Neeson send you? Yeah, he loves them little cars.
Liam, my guy, what the hell? Meanwhile, Peter's friends have no idea he's out of jail. When he finally returns, they press him for details. How did he get away?
How'd you get out?
With my smooth I used words.
He stammers through his answer, but ultimately tells them, "Oh yeah, I totally wrecked Neeson in a fight." Skeptical, they wonder why this huge event wasn't all over the news. Peter, without missing a beat, explains, "The Irish control the media. Duh. Right, Peter. Now go exfoliate your cracked heels."
Chris was shot at school. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Eventually, the guys follow Peter to confront Neeson, exposing his lie.
I lied about that. What? I acted like such a big man, and I didn't want to admit I was a coward. I was too scared to fight Liam Neeson.
Rather than deny it, Neeson leans in and calls Peter his chubby little servant before ordering him back to the gym for another golden shower special. That's the last straw. Peter, humiliated, finally snaps and stands up to Neeson.
I'm not doing your stupid chores anymore. And there's something else I gotta tell you. Your story thread in Love Actually is the second worst.
And just like that, the long-awaited fight is on. How does it go? Well, Neeson absolutely obliterates Peter in seconds. And that, folks, answers the question we started with.
Hey, Peter, you're up there now? Who's winning?
Number 2, fighter Deidre Jackson, the woman who terrified Peter in the episode, Baby, You Knock Me Out. The episode kicks off with Peter being so ridiculously excited for his upcoming birthday that he literally can't sleep.
I can't sleep, Lois. I'm too excited for my birthday tomorrow.
To ensure this is the best birthday bash ever, he's already sent out all the invitations. Well, to everyone except Meg, because of course it's Meg.
Oh no, M-E-G.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Nothing? Sports! Birthday sports. No, just sports.
Oh, okay.
Meg, you're not invited to my party.
On his birthday, Joe gifts Peter a globe, but Peter flat out rejects it because, let's be honest, it's educational, and who wants that?
Whoa! What planet is this?
It's not a planet. Peter, it's Earth. It's a globe. You use it to learn where the countries are.
You gave me an educational toy?
Even Cleveland, who lives far away, manages to send Peter a card, though he forgot to turn off his voicemail. As a result, Peter ends up listening to a recording of Cleveland singing along to a song on the radio, right before he gets pulled over by a racist cop, brutally attacked, shot multiple times, and chased by police dogs.
Step out of the car.
But I ain't done nothing.
Hands behind your back.
Hey, easy,
Come on.
watch it.
Don't you fight me, boy. You stand on the ground.
Come on, now.
Hey, get back here.
Ah, my arm.
And Cleveland still managed to mail that letter. What a bro. Peter closes the card, completely convinced that Cleveland is totally fine.
Peter, close the card.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
Then comes the highlight of the day. Quagmire gifts Peter tickets to a women's boxing match.
Two smoking hot chicks repeatedly striking each other.
Yeah, reminds me of Thanksgiving.
Why'd you remind you of Thanksgiving?
Because this is where I come for Thanksgiving.
At the arena, an announcement is made that the reigning champion is open to fighting any new challengers. Naturally, Peter, being Peter, raises a plaster cast of Lois's hand, because why not, and volunteers her for the fight.
Hey, buddy, over here.
I see a woman's hand and forearm at table 8.
Damn it, Peter.
Lois, thinking this could be a bit of harmless fun, agrees. Spoiler alert, getting repeatedly punched in the face isn't fun.
Yeah, punch each other, you whores!
Lois quickly loses her patience and delivers a knockout punch, winning the match effortlessly.
No matter what you do for the rest of your life, you'll always be garbage.
And here comes the classic trope. As soon as Lois wins, a sleazy manager tries to convince Peter to let her go pro, while Quagmire seizes the opportunity to drag the unconscious fighter home, because of course he does.
You should consider your wife competing for a belt.
What can I say? I really like watching her box.
That means two things.
Peter, ever the opportunist, wants to become Lois's manager, but she refuses to continue fighting, so Peter hatches a brilliant and absolutely terrible plan.
I'll take you somewhere real fancy and romantic for dinner, just the two of us, and in return, I get to try and convince you to fight.
Well, going out for dinner would be nice, but I'm not changing my mind.
He blindfolds Lois, leads her into the ring, and only reveals that she's about to fight once it's too late.
Well, why do I need to wear gloves to eat in a fancy restaurant?
Because it's so fancy that... You know what? I'm tired of this. I booked you a boxing match.
Son of a bitch, damn it, Peter!
Lois attempts to explain to her opponent that it's all just a misunderstanding. But, well, the other fighter is Ukrainian and doesn't understand a word.
She's from the Ukraine, Lois. She doesn't speak English.
All right. She's from
the other part of the Ukraine. It's a different dialect.
The match begins, Lois gets knocked down, and in a fit of rage, she starts imagining her opponent as Peter. Fueled by marital frustration, she destroys her challenger in seconds.
Did you know where the Ukraine was because of my globe?
No, I saw it in a book.
You knew because of my globe, you dick.
With this newfound power, Lois starts to enjoy fighting. It's the same level of satisfaction Peter feels when he lets out a loud burp in an underground parking lot to assert dominance.
Says the king.
She begins training hard and winning match after match. Unfortunately, she breaks her nose and decides to retire. But Peter, having already counted on her prize money to fund his essential purchases, bourbon and anime, tries to convince her to keep going.
And I need money for bourbon and anime. Well, I just can't understand any of this. Everybody in Japan is either a 10-year-old girl or a monster.
Lois, however, doesn't care. She tells Peter that she has been picturing him as her opponent this entire time, and that, thanks to beating people up, she's finally worked through most of her pent-up frustrations. Retirement it is.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be. I just... Look, if you don't want to fight anymore, you don't have to.
To celebrate Lois's success and retirement, Mayor West unveils a statue in her honor, naming her the strongest warrior in Quahog. But during her victory speech, the real champion, Deirdre Jackson, arrives to challenge Lois.
Oh my God, that's Deirdre Jackson.
Who's that?
Only the deadliest fighter in all of women's boxing. She's killed 3 people in the ring.
If you're so great, why don't you prove it? Fight me!
When Lois refuses, Deirdre turns her attention to Peter and swiftly fills him with sheer terror.
Hey man, you want a real woman? Why don't you bring your pretty little self over to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real woman?
No, I'm ashamed.
Even then, Lois refuses to fight, so Deirdre humiliates Peter further by making him kneel like a helpless milk cow.
Look at me, Griffin! I'm milking me a cow! Moo for me!
Moo!
Louder!
Moo!
Louder!
Moo!
Louder!
Moo!
Completely terrified, Peter is on the verge of becoming a dried-up dairy product, until Lois steps in just in time to save him from total humiliation.
You wanna fight? You got one! Now you get your hands off my man before I break him off!
Number 3. Bullied by church kids in the episode Mr. Act. When Lois discovered the wonders of a stationary bike, she encouraged Peter to give it a try. Unfortunately, this well-intentioned advice landed Peter straight in the hospital because, well, his boys took a catastrophic hit.
Ow! 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 My balls! No, the other ones. Ow! 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 Ow!
His screams of agony were so intense that every dog in the neighborhood, including Brian, started howling in solidarity.
Excuse me, I have to go bark.
The accident altered Peter's voice, and naturally he panicked. Dr. Hartman diagnosed him with Pendleton balls, a condition that, as Oliver Platt eloquently explained, occurs when overweight people dare to exercise.
Trapped fart disorder, jump rope tangles, push-up butt, sock skin foot, and jog fog, where your sweat condenses into a functioning cloud. But don't worry, with the help of gravity, Pendleton balls will clear itself.
The doctor advised Peter to do something that required excessive standing but minimal effort, like going to church. During a church service, the priest noticed Peter's unique new voice and immediately invited him to join the choir.
Okay, but only if God will kill a bunch of babies for no reason.
That's not a problem. God does that a lot in the Bible.
While Peter could sing well, his performance was so soothing that it put the entire congregation to sleep. Desperate to liven things up, Peter tried getting the choir kids to follow his lead, but they ignored him. So he did what Peter does best, went rogue and performed his own remixed version, jolting everyone awake.
Tragedy. When church is lame and you miss the game, it's a tragedy. When your bum goes numb from kneeling some, it's a tragedy.
Impressed, the priest officially invited Peter to join the choir, and Peter happily agreed, on one condition.
I'll do it, buddy, under one condition. We shake like that epic handshake meme.
You got a deal, buddy.
Peter excelled in his new role, much to the priest's delight. However, the church kids weren't nearly as thrilled. In their eyes, Peter had stolen their spotlight, and they weren't about to let that slide.
You really think you can just come in here and steal our spotlight?
Ah, spotlight.
Yeah, before you came, I was wrist deep in every old lady's casserole. Now I'm lucky if I just get a sniff of an old lady's casserole.
When he refused to leave, they took matters into their own hands by beating him up right inside the church.
Hey, Peter, what did the kneeling apparatus say to the ankle?
Pew.
I'm your rides home, guy!
Seeking guidance, Peter went to the priest, explaining that he had finally found a way to contribute to the church. But unfortunately, the choir kids now hated him. The priest, full of wisdom, gifted Peter some inspiring words of encouragement.
The thing about humanity is that we get stronger with adversity.
Who said that? Jesus?
No, it was Justin Bieber's dad on Twitter. The answer to pretty much all of life's questions are on Twitter. Try there.
Which in the end did absolutely nothing to solve the problem. Unable to get the kids to accept Peter, the priest had no choice but to let him sulk in defeat. Just as Peter hit rock bottom, a miracle occurred. Jesus himself appeared. However, in typical Peter fashion, his first reaction was to ask Jesus to help his TV show win an Emmy.
You're gonna help me win an Emmy?
Whoa, no. Your choir problem. There's some things not even I can do.
Maybe you can ask your dad?
I'm not gonna ask my dad.
When Peter tried to reason with the choir kids, they immediately scared the living daylights out of him. Even when Jesus showed up in person, the kids refused to believe it was really him.
That's not Jesus. Why is he so tan?
Yeah, everyone knows that Jesus was Paul Bettany pale.
Instead of listening to Peter and Jesus, they backed them into a corner and, worse yet, had the audacity to kick Jesus right in the Holy Family jewels.
The Old Testament.
That's not how you say it.
They're gonna kick you in the schnutz.
Those kids are really mean.
Of course, Jesus wasn't going to let these bratty kids get away with that. As a divine punishment, he ordered Peter to clean the entire church, which surprisingly became the perfect way for Peter to learn martial arts.
Show me sign of the cross. No, really, show me.
Yeah.
There was just one problem, his biggest weakness, books. Because let's be honest, Peter hates reading.
Now show me Book of Mark.
Ow! I didn't do the reading ones.
Feeling confident after his training, Peter confronted the delinquent choir kids. Using everything Jesus taught him, he quickly took down 2 of them.
Looks like someone learned how to fight.
Yeah, I did a whole Karate Kid thing.
What's that? I'm only allowed to watch Kirk Cameron movies.
Ah, you poor dude.
The last kid managed to land a hit, but under the guiding light of Jesus, Peter unleashed a glorious finishing move, taking him out in one epic strike. The force of Peter's final attack was so powerful that it knocked over a giant crucifix, which came crashing to the floor, miraculously restoring Peter's voice to normal.
Ow, my balls! Ow, my balls? Hey, my voice is back to normal.
And just like that, his choir days were over. The kids finally got what they wanted. Peter was officially kicked out of the group. Number 4, Meg Griffin. When it comes to Peter being terrified of someone, we simply cannot overlook the time Meg scared the living daylights out of him. In the episode Dial Meg for Murder, Peter, in his quest to win a rodeo competition, took his training way too seriously by using his own children as practice tools. First up, Meg. She was just chilling in bed, minding her own business, when Peter lassoed her out of nowhere, dragged her outside, and branded her like a cow.
All right, Meg, this is only gonna hurt for about 3 weeks. What the hell?
That there's my steer, Griffin.
And if that wasn't bad enough, he then used Chris as his personal rodeo horse.
Hold hold there, 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 hold there.
Fast forward to the actual competition, Peter, under the alias Peter the Kid, strutted in brimming with confidence, only to get thrown off immediately. But here's the best part. As he lay helpless on the ground, the bull decided to seize the opportunity and, let's just say, made Peter his special someone in front of everyone.
Where you going, fatty? We're gonna have a party.
No!
Now, technically speaking, this bull might be one of Peter's biggest fears, because when it comes to raw strength, Peter didn't stand a chance.
I got a house on the Cape. Maybe you come visit.
Maybe.
Maybe you call a few days in advance to give me time to get the house clean.
Okay.
Maybe you bring a blazer so we can go to a wider range of restaurants.
I'll bring a blazer.
And to make things even funnier, the bull actually called him afterward. And guess what? Peter had no choice but to go over to its place immediately.
Hello?
I'm in the mood for some coitus. Get over here.
I can't. I'm with my family.
Pick up wine on the way.
Well, Angela, if I'm really the only guy at work who can solve it, I'll be right there.
But let's move on to the real nightmare, Meg Griffin. After Meg's family discovered she was in love with a prisoner, they tried everything to stop her. She cried, she pleaded, but she refused to give up. Then, in the name of love, her boyfriend Luke broke out of jail and snuck into her room.
My God, how did you get out?
I filed down a toothbrush to a fine point and stabbed the guard with the most kids.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
The two shared a passionate kiss, and Luke even managed to crack a pretty good joke.
Oh, Meg, I've wanted to do that for so long. And it's nice to be in front of someone for a change.
Now I know that was a joke.
Whatever.
But just when things were heating up, Brian barged in to talk to Meg, only to hear some very suspicious noises coming from her closet. Cue Luke awkwardly stepping out.
Meg, are you crazy? You can't harbor a fugitive. That's a felony.
Only if someone finds out. Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna tell on me again?
Well,
And then, Peter walked in. Luke tried to run, but Joe instantly tackled him. Meg, on the other hand, ended up in jail for harboring a fugitive.
Well, if you're taking him to jail, you have to take me too.
I know, that's the plan. You're under arrest for harboring an escaped convict.
Oh, well, that's only fair because after all, I did hide him from the... What?
Behind bars, she shared a cell with some tough inmates and, in no time, became one of them.
Hi.
Did you also get caught trying to vote in Ohio?
3 months later, she returned home, covered in tattoos, radiating pure menace, and leaving her family in absolute shock. But Meg didn't care about their questions. She only wanted to know who was the biggest and toughest person in the house. And of course, that was Peter.
Distinction of...
That was just the appetizer. After years of bullying from her father, it was finally payback time.
My house now, bitch. Now who's the funniest?
I know my way around a joke.
There better be beer in the fridge.
Meanwhile, Chris found the new Meg oddly predictable, like an archived image file.
I'm a Latino in a hard hat, but I'm also wearing a tie, so you know I'm a supervisor.
We're college students listening to our professor, but the class is taking place outside?
Then, in one of the most horrifyingly hilarious scenes ever, Peter was just trying to enjoy a peaceful bath when Meg ambushed him and manhandled him in a way eerily similar to what the bull did earlier.
What the hell are you doing in here?
Shower time.
Yeah, for me, not for... What are you doing with that loofah?
Don't worry about it.
Ah! You told me not to worry about it! I should have been worried the whole time!
Things escalated quickly. Meg started acting like a full-on thug, terrorizing everyone. But in Meg's case with Connie, I fully support it.
Hey, Meg, are you gonna take those soda cans to the Shaw Skank Redemption Center?
Her family grew worried and plotted ways to bring her back to normal, but mid-trash talk, Meg suddenly walked in, scaring them all into blaming Stewie.
You fatso, punch your baby in the face.
I did good, Meg?
Shut up.
I did good.
After days of running wild, Meg was finally convinced by Brian to drop the gangster act and return to her old self, like nothing ever happened. But hey, at least for one episode, she was absolutely badass. Number 5. When Brian shaved himself bald. The A Fistful of Meg episode delivers a scene so terrifying that even we have to admit, hairless Brian is pure nightmare fuel. It all started when Peter casually began undressing in front of Brian. Understandably disturbed, Brian protested, but Peter stood his ground, refusing to change his ways. His reasoning? Brian is technically naked all the time anyway. The only moment Brian isn't all natural is when Lois puts him in a raincoat.
We're going to Martha's Vineyard.
Do I have to wear this on the ferry?
Yes, you do.
What about Peter? Why doesn't he have to wear this crap?
Peter's in his crate.
I'm actually relieved. The ferry would be overstimulating.
The next horrifying encounter came in the bathroom, where, surprise, surprise, Peter was still naked. No matter how much Brian begged, Peter's response was firm. A man's home is his castle.
Halt, wench! State your business.
Peter, will you please put down the drawbridge? I got a car full of groceries.
Anything else?
I also went to the video store and got Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties.
And as if things couldn't get worse, Lois joined in on the joke, tricking Brian into thinking he was about to see her naked, only to traumatize him with Peter instead.
Ah! You thought you were gonna see my wife's penis, but no, it's mine.
You idiot!
But Peter wasn't done. Oh no, he sent Brian a special gift, another prank designed to mess with him. While Peter did get a good laugh, he also paid for it dearly.
Oh, God! What's in the box, Brian? I got you good. I don't feel right. I want it back.
But did he learn his lesson? Absolutely not. He continued tormenting Brian to the point where the poor dog ran straight to Stewie's room begging for help.
I lost my ass gambling. Have you seen it?
Leave me alone, you jerk! Stewie, you gotta help me. Peter just won't let up with the nudity.
Stewie, ever the mastermind, advised Brian to fight fire with fire. If Peter insists on being naked, Brian should do the same. But how? Simple. Shave off all his fur. Desperate times call for desperate measures, so Brian went through with it. After all, Peter is notoriously persistent, just like that time he refused to give up when he was invited to host inside the actor's studio.
You can just say the color. I know all the Care Bears.
I don't know, the blue one.
There's like 11 blue ones, Jeff. Are you here to dick around or you want to do inside the actor's studio?
Then came the ultimate moment of revenge. Brian lured Peter outside and ambushed him, rubbing his newly bald, wrinkly skin all over Peter's body.
Your skin is so loose and wrinkly. It's like I'm just pushing around a plastic bag full of chicken bones. Why do you have so many nipples?
Peter completely lost it. He trembled, cried, and immediately swore to stop messing with Brian, absolutely horrified by the sensation of touching his naked, saggy skin.
You gonna put your clothes on? Yes, I swear.
You gonna keep them on?
Yes, I promise. I'll never bother you again with my body. Please, just make this stop.
Good.
And Peter wasn't the only one who found hairless Brian disturbing. Lois and Chris's reaction said everything. They practically lost control at the sight of him.
What is that thing? Go away!
What's going on in here? Oh my God, is that a rat? Peter, hold it down. I'm getting a gun.
It was so bad that even Stewie had to step in, dressing Brian in his own clothes, just so Chris could bear to look at him.
Stewie, hold still.
But let's be honest, this is Family Guy, so the nightmare was far from over. Chris, fooled by Brian's new outfit, promised that the horror would continue next week.
There you go. You look good. You look really good.
Hi, Stewie and... Stewie!
This is next week's story. Get there.
Number 6, Karen, Peter's big sister. In the Peter's sister episode, Karen, Peter's long-lost sister, shows up for Thanksgiving, and Peter immediately looks like he's seen a ghost. If that ghost could also body slam him. The chaos begins when Lois comes home from Thanksgiving shopping, clearly over it because no one in the family helped.
There's still a lot more groceries in the car.
Well, it's not a race. Take a break.
If you knew how close we were to putting you down last year.
Stewie, always the problem solver, offers her his homemade Monster energy drink. Nothing like a caffeine-fueled holiday meltdown.
Mix it with booze. Ever been wide awake, blacked out? Ever tried to jump over a train on a bike? Ever bit the beak off a bird? Monster Energy. Put it in your body and ask questions later. It's green, so it's nature.
When Meg brings in a letter from Karen, the family is shocked, mainly because most of them didn't even know Peter had a sister. Lois explains that Peter never talks about Karen since they're basically sibling arch nemeses.
I have no obligation to tell any of you anything.
Mr. Griffin has shown good faith in appearing here today and will not be subjected to this sort of hostile interrogation.
The letter drops a bombshell. Karen is coming for Thanksgiving. She spent the last 20 Thanksgivings with their mom, but now that mom's gone, she wants to spend the holiday with Peter.
What?
If we're having guests, can I invite Rosario Vargas from the 3rd District? A leader you can depend on?
Peter, being Peter, panics and declares, "This is a disaster, just like the alternate ending to Back to the Future."
Well, if I'm gonna disappear into nothing, I might as well bang my mom. Hey, Lorraine, wait up!
Harry, my name's Marty. I'm in a picture.
When Karen arrives, everyone's excited, except Peter, who looks like he's about to faint. Karen's greeting? A loud, unapologetic fart right in Peter's face.
Hey, Karen. Welcome to our...
Bring it in, PP!
I like her.
The family bursts into laughter, while Peter wonders if it's too late to fake his own death. The surprises keep coming when the gang finds out Karen is a professional wrestler named Heavy Flow.
I remember when you called out Andrea the Giant the day after September 11th.
What just happened was a national tragedy, but it's nothing compared to what I'm gonna do to Andrea the Giant!
Joe and Quagmire are super impressed, calling her as strong as Superman on a Tinder date.
Yeah, I wasn't here, but I heard her scream, so I came flying in and found her like this.
It's weird. Same cause of death as those 3 guys in that local public bathroom.
Unsolvable.
Meanwhile, Peter's just trying to keep his sanity intact, which is tough when your sister could probably bench press your entire house. At dinner, Karen continues her roast of Peter with embarrassing childhood stories and even takes over his Thanksgiving traditions.
Sure, what the hell? I'll show you my moves. Maybe after dinner.
No, the family football game is after dinner. We do it every year.
Peter finally snaps, declaring, Karen is ruining Thanksgiving just like Tim Burton ruined the 4th of July.
Weirdness, weirdness, patriotic weirdness, barbecuing human heads. Every president is dead, everybody's gonna die. Have a dark and dead July.
The family football game turns into a full-blown WWE event when Karen tackles Peter so hard he nearly sees the light. She hits him with her signature wrestling move, leaving him gasping for air.
You're a jerk, Karen!
Poor Peter is so terrified he can't even speak. Oh, and he pees his pants. Because what's a Family Guy episode without a little public humiliation?
That's his stutter. And whenever he stutters, he usually pees his pants.
No, I don't. Oh.
Number 7, the nightmare named Angela. In the Peter Assman episode, Peter tries to film Ollie Williams, but Ollie goes full Hulk mode, smashing Peter's camera and his glasses.
Ollie Williams, why do you look so much like Will Smith? Hey, Will Smith, what was it like to punch that alien in the face? Eddie Murphy, what was that whole thing with you and that transvestite hooker? Bernie Mac, how come you died? Oprah, why are you so fat, Don Cheadle?
With his specs destroyed, Peter has to wear contact lenses to work, revealing his unexpectedly gorgeous eyes. His boss, Angela, is instantly smitten, and not in a cute way. Angela wastes no time, pulling the classic, oops, I dropped my pencil move and using the chance to cop a feel when Peter bends down to pick it up.
Oh, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, this is gonna work out just fine. Excuse me.
When Peter tells Lois, she laughs it off, saying, come on, what guy doesn't like a little touchy-feely from a woman? Well, apparently this guy.
But I didn't like it.
I got sexually harassed at school. My chemistry teacher, Mr. Taylor, rubbed my shoulders for 35 minutes in class the one day I didn't wear a bra.
See, Peter, that's harassment.
The next morning, Angela's demands get weirder. She asks Peter to wear denim shorts, just so she can enjoy the view. Things escalate when she requests Peter cool her neck with a cold can of Pepsi.
Now get out of here, you slut.
Okay, can I keep the soda?
All right.
Yeah.
By the end of the workday, Angela takes things to a whole new level of creepy. She asks Peter to stick his hand into a mystery hole she set up in her office.
Oh, God. I really hope there's a hungry horse back there.
And if you think things get better when he gets home, think again. Angela calls to harass him even there. Thankfully, quick-thinking Peter ropes Chris into helping him.
Cal, I'm almost there. Oh, your breath is filling me up.
I like kangaroos.
Oh, sure you do.
The next day, Peter shows up at the Drunken Clam wearing a t-shirt with a kangaroo on it, a clear cry for help to his friends. Quagmire, being Quagmire, offers a genius plan. He'll hide inside Peter's clothes and help him sleep with Angela. Yeah, because nothing could go wrong with that.
Wow, that's really clever.
Thanks. And if you don't feel like doing Lois later, I can stick around.
Oh, let's just see how this goes.
At first, Quagmire is all in, thinking this might be a win-win. But the second he gets a closer look at Angela, his enthusiasm takes a nosedive.
Oh, she's so ugly. I don't want to get in that. Peter, I'm not going to do it. Deal's off. Deal's off.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. I'm going to spread my legs, and it'll be you doing it, not me.
The two end up wrestling inside Peter's clothes, and their not-so-masterful plan falls apart.
I would have had sex with you, but Peter neglected to tell me that you are a complete dumpster fire. Some friend, huh? Okay. All right, take it easy.
When Quagmire bails, Angela gives Peter an ultimatum. Sleep with her right now or get fired. And Peter, in the most sensible move he's made all episode, chooses unemployment over whatever that was.
Fine, fire me. I'm through being harassed by you.
Number 8, Toshio, the creepy kid from that Japanese horror movie. In the Stewie Eyes and Sante episode, the guys see a viral video on the news, and guess what it is? An opera singing penguin. Somehow this got 7 million views.
Is that it? Is he gonna do it again? No? Okay, so just normal penguin stuff now.
Naturally, Peter's brain starts whirring, and he suggests they make their own viral video. The gang is pumped.
All right.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Oh, I don't know if you're going to be in it, Joe. I thought while we filmed, we'd just keep all of our stuff on your lap.
They brainstorm ideas, some good, some Peter level good. Peter wants to shock the audience, you know, like Buster Keaton did in his first talkie, minus the actual talent.
And I slammed the door. Oh no, I slammed it too hard and the house is gonna squash me. Oh, it turned out that window was there. Pause for laugh and amazement.
They start filming, and Joe dives into his own idea with the confidence of a guy who's never seen his own blooper reel.
I'm Joe Swanson, and this is 30 impressions in 30 seconds. Show me the money. Oh, behave. Good morning, Vietnam. Wait until they get a load of me, said the Joker. Some of these I'm paraphrasing.
Then, after watching a zoo video of a monkey trying to get frisky with a frog, they shoot their own version. Monkeys watching a sexy frog dance at a bar. Classy, right?
I'm concerned that frog's in more trouble than she realizes.
Surprise, surprise! Their video doesn't make it onto YouTube, so Peter, being Peter, painstakingly stitches together random photos he took over the past year, hoping for internet fame. But not only does no one care, but when Peter re-watches it, he realizes his house is haunted by Toshio. What kind of karmic crime did Peter commit to get haunted by this horror movie nightmare? Whatever it was, it's bad enough that Peter seriously considers selling the house, because nothing says motivated seller like a resident ghost kid with murder vibes.
Yeah, so we're thinking about selling the house.
Additionally, in the episode Stewie Goes for a Drive, Peter is absolutely terrified of the screaming autistic woman in the waiting room.
I don't know what you want. I don't know how to help.